Hi friend, I am so glad that you're here, especially if you are a fellow weight loss surgery patient and you are in the post-op window wondering, why is this part so hard? Because here's the truth that nobody really talks about. Surgery isn't the hardest part. In today's video, I am going to break down the real challenges that show up in a post-op world, and not just those that are physical, but the emotional, the psychological, and more. And if you are in the thick of it right now, you're worried or experiencing anxiety, shame, regain, you're spiraling, I want you to know that you're not alone and you're not broken. You're just in the part that nobody really talks about being challenging. This is the part no one prepared you for. So let's talk about it. If you're new here, hi and welcome. I'm Chelsea, your Bari godmother. If you are looking for a channel that's all about weight loss surgery content that's authentic and real, this is the channel for you. I hope you'll subscribe. We also cover mamahood. I have a 9-year-old daughter. Disney, we have a trip or several coming up, so you'll see that. And other types of travel. We went to Portugal in June. I have 2 videos all about that. So we're kind of a holistic mix of all post-op lifestyle. Weight loss surgery is often sold as the big fix, the final step in your journey to finally losing weight, seeing the scale trend downward, getting healthier, etc. We're taught such specific preparation techniques, all about the pre-op diet, the liquid, excessive liquid, clear liquid, not clear liquid, the purees, the grocery store list, the necessity of protein, and your vitamins and supplements. No one really teaches on what to do after, when the world stops clapping at your weight loss progress and your number slows on the scale every week. And most of us, we go into surgery with that linear blinders on mindset. If I can just get the weight off with this surgery, everything else will fall into place. Here's the kicker. We know that surgery changes your stomach, right? That's the obvious part. We understand that. What it doesn't change, your patterns, your identity, your beliefs. I'm going to organize this in 3 ways, and I'm going to start with the emotional detox. If the wrong people watch this, I am going to be destroyed in the comments. It doesn't matter. We're going forward anyway. Something that absolutely caught me off guard after surgery is the grief that I felt around food. I missed food. I missed chewing. Food was how I used to cope. It was my primary emotional anxiety release tool. Yes, did that lead to a spiral? Of course, every single time without fail, and I knew it, but in that blackout moment where I was eating to feel better, food never judged me. It was my comfort blanket. And when that's gone, when that's taken from you because of surgery, my emotions had nowhere to go. I deeply missed my old routines, partially because they alleviated those emotions and they worked. Were they the healthiest? Absolutely not. They weren't getting me to my goal of my weight, my health. Absolutely not. But if you understand emotional eating, if that resonates with you, then I think you understand what I'm saying. That after surgery, the grief of not knowing what to do with my emotions really hit hard. And if you identify with that, then you know that you probably found yourself crying more often or more easily irritated or angry. And that was not what I expected post-op, at least not right away. I expected to be in this blissful honeymoon phase of I'm just losing weight because I wasn't prepared for this. I felt off and therefore felt like I was failing at this even though the weight was coming off. And my friend, that's not failure, that's detox. In addition to the emotional detox comes the identity shift. For so long, my identity was wrapped up in being the big girl, the curvy girl, the one with the pretty face, specifically only my face. The funny one, the one who hid in the back of photos, volunteered to take the photos, or even went so far as to use my child as a prop in front of me to hide myself if I had to be in the picture. I was the loud one. I still am the loud one, if we're being honest, but I'm not using my loudness, my voice now to shield people from seeing what I look like, which is what I was doing before. I was always the one I thought who needed to be the smartest in the room so I could beat people to their punchline, the witty one. And the one I used to be really proud of is that I could outwork any one of my peers. And when that changes, it's disorienting. Your identity shift is happening because you're shedding literally the pounds of who you used to be. So you might feel disconnected from your body, unsure of who you are now in this identity shift. And the big one, number 3 in the list of the hardest things post-op that you aren't prepared for, is when your weight loss slows down. Now, I am adding this to the list. It's its own topic entirely, right? We've done videos here on stalls, on hormones, etc. During the time when you're losing weight, you may be convinced that you have fixed your relationship with food, that you've healed yourself, that the simple act of the pounds coming off equal success all around, mindset included. And then when your weight loss starts to slow, or you hit your first stall, or further on, when you regain a little bit, that spiral comes back. And just like in number 1, you can't use food as a coping mechanism and your emotions have nowhere to go. You think, I broke it. I failed. This is where I start my regain. I'm going to be just as fat as I was before, if not fatter. This didn't work. And none of that is true. You are going to lose fast at first, right? That is the process of having your stomach essentially removed. Just a little bit remains, your little cheese stick tummy. Being on liquids and limited calories, probably being carbless for an extended period of time, you're gonna lose fast. And then it will eventually start to slow. And that's a good thing because it means that your hormones are restabilizing. The scale may stop. And eventually, people in your life may stop noticing your constant and consistent weight loss, so the comments or the compliments may stop too. Your cravings are going to creep back in. I'm so sorry to have to tell you that. Your hunger hormone, ghrelin, that evil little booger, is going to return to you. And no one warned you that this is where it gets hard. This is the hardest part. I wanted to share some of my personal clients' testimonials here about their hardest parts too. I'm going to read their comments from our community website. One client told me, I thought surgery would fix my food obsession, but now I think about it more because I can't have what I used to. So this is in the very beginning, right? Immediately post-op when you were on that restriction component. Another client said, and this is when we first started working together, this was like one of her limiting beliefs, the weight's gone, so why do I still feel stuck? These are the moments that matter. This is the part where your mindset, not your meal plan, determines what happens next. You have to grieve your old coping mechanisms and replace them with new ones. You need to learn how to trust yourself again. And you have to rebuild your relationship with food, not from a place of fear, but a place of confidence. Because I love you so much, I want to give you 3 mindset tools that you can use to help you harness your power to know how to move through these sticky, hard situations. The first one is naming the thought. It's catching your limiting belief in action. A popular one I hear quite a bit is, I'll never keep the weight off. Now you have to flip that. Flip that belief. What would become possible if I believed I could keep the weight off? I just did a live coaching session with my Mindset Mastery students on this exact topic, where I shared some of my old limiting beliefs that I held onto throughout surgery and beyond, and also what's cropping up for me now 6 years later and how I'm working through those. The quick and dirty version here is that you need to be able to identify them in order to be able to move and process through them. The processing looks like adopting the opposite of your limiting belief, therefore affirming or creating an empowering belief about yourself and your future. And then it's the release intentionality behind how do I release this limiting belief. We talked about that in this call too. I gave 3 or 4 different options, and then doing that on repeat until that belief no longer shows up in your life and or you no longer believe it. If you are a parent and you ever used Name It to Tame It, this is a much more complex version of that principle. And quick plug, since I brought it up, if you are interested in taking my digital course, Mindset Mastery, the first module is all about the heavy duty work that goes into identifying your limiting beliefs, adopting the opposite belief of that, affirming it, and releasing. So, and then of course there's the 60-minute live coaching call that you get as a part of module 1 too. So if you are interested in Mindset Mastery or doing this work and doing it in a guided way with videos and PDF how-tos, step-by-step guides, I will leave the link for the course in the description box below. You get 4 total live coaching sessions with Mindset Mastery, kind of 1 per module. The second tip I have for you in harboring the most positive mindset you can is to neutralize the scale. Take the scale's power away. And we do this by tracking your actions, not only your weight. The wins of post-op life aren't always visible on your body or on a scale. You know and love these by their title, non-scale victories. I want you to keep a list for yourself. And if you are feeling in the more extreme, heightened awareness of the scale, as a client, I would advise you to put that scale away. 2 weeks, a month, put the scale away. I want you to keep a list and track your non-scale victories. Add to it. And it's something that I would recommend that you read to yourself before you go to bed and when you wake up in the morning. And number 3 is to find new rewards for yourself. You can no longer binge the cupcakes, right? So how do we replace that with a healthier, attainable coping mechanism? We love building a ritual around joy, gratitude. I want you to feel abundant. I want you to feel joy and happiness. That's the point of this, right?
Shameless plug number 2.
The 4th module in Mindset Mastery is literally a step-by-step tutorial on how to find new coping mechanisms that will actually work for you. This is the part no one talks about, but it is the part that determines your success in this post-op world forever. Your long-term success. Mindset, habits, consistency, your self-trust, these are not things that can be fixed with a grocery list, a meal plan, or supplements. And that's why I created these tools, right? One option is the more independent Mindset Mastery digital course where you get 4 live coaching calls with me. Another is the Coronation Coaching, which is a small group-based coaching system that is you and I sitting down virtually once a week for 12 weeks to talk about exactly what's going on in your life. It is a sisterhood of support because you deserve support after surgery too. This is when the real work begins. If you're stuck in a stall, regaining or questioning why did you even do this, you're not broken. If you feel like everyone else has this figured out and they're achieving all this success and you aren't, you're not alone. You're just in the hard part that no one warned you about. But the good news is that you don't have to stay there. Right now, the waitlist is open for the Coronation Coaching option. I am only taking 10 women total. So get on the waitlist. If you are thinking about this, you will get information first. You will hear from me. I will answer your questions. You're going to get some VIP treatment just for being on the waitlist, and it's free to be there. I will leave it in the description box below. This small group program is for post-op women only who are ready to reclaim their mindset and reestablish consistency in their lives. While we, of course, will talk about food, recipes, etc., this program is not really about what you eat exclusively. It's about how you think. It's designed to feel like a sisterhood, not a classroom, because healing is hard. And it's a lot easier when you don't have to do it alone. I love you so much. Thank you for being here, for letting me share what's been difficult in my life with you regarding post-op lifestyles. I hope that what I mentioned today resonates with you or you understand where I'm coming from. I deeply appreciate it when you leave me comments and tell me what you like, didn't like, or with feedback. I love that. Reading them is part of my own self-care. Thank you for being here. I hope to see you on the waitlist for the coronation or inside Mindset Mastery as a student. And I will be here same time, same place next week. Goodbye. I love you, my beautiful friend.